This week we're back in Scotland as we head for the windswept north. Bex feels the need for a wee bit of peace and quiet. I feel the need to go and explore wee bits of history, and the Nero feels the need for speed. But we certainly don't go in search of another major renovation project. And this is where we pick up this week's adventure. This is the beach near the town of Lossiemouth on Scotland's Moray Firth coast, and it looked pretty nice when we arrived. Unfortunately, the forecast did not look quite so nice overnight. It was going to be a wee bit windy. Another night in a camper van where it sounds like you're sleeping inside the washing machine. So let's go out and get some recording done before the wind really messes with the microphones. So that over there is the Crieff lighthouse, and over there somewhere is RAF Lossiemouth, which is why I can't do any exciting drone stuff. There's a big military base over there, and I don't think sooking my wee drone into one of the engines would do them any good. This box is alarmed. These things are popping up everywhere. They're such a good idea. How many lives to save, I've got no idea, but I suppose we save one, that is enough. Quite popular with the old camper van. There's an honesty box along at the cafe that we will put some money in later. On the way here, might have done a bit of charity shopping. I bought some Lego Duplo. I was on cooking duties again tonight, so once again we're having steak because it was my choice, so we're having steak. This is one of those meal deals that you get in Tesco where you get a main and a side and a bottle of wine and a dessert for £15. Now the quantities are getting smaller, but it's still quite good value for money. De Niro was not interested in his food, probably because there was steak on the go, or possibly because he was saving his energy for a little bit later. He does love it, does he? He gets out of breath really quickly. De Niro! That is a happy greyhound, but you can't hear me over the noise of all the wind. Oh, sniff! Emergency sniff stop. De Niro! No, see, he's not interested in me at all. And there he goes, into the sun. Or from the sun, you know what I mean. And back to his favourite person. And a very windswept walk later, we made it to the lighthouse. Now we're going to come back here tomorrow to visit this lighthouse because it's owned by the local community and it's open for access, so you can go up and have a wee look from the top. I bet the views are stunning. And that'd be the closest you would get to an aerial view because you're allowed to park your camper van, but you're absolutely not allowed to fly your drone. And after a very windswept and interesting night, the storm had blown itself out by the next morning. This was going to be a nice day. Time to head up to our next port of call. We've left a nice seaside behind and come to a park in Elgin. Guess why? Yeah, Saturday morning, parkrun time. It was hot, it was sweaty, and half an hour later it was done. Time to go and hit the charity shops. You never see these things anywhere, and after seeing all the ones we saw down south,
there you go, down a group.
It's called Shieldwear or something, I think. It's,
you can start a collection. No more collections. Certainly an eclectic mix of niche books here. How about this one, written entirely in Chinese? Never seen that in a charity shop before. Or this one, Russian prop liners and jetliners. I bet that is a right riveting read. A couple of things for the shop. That's quite good. That stuff always does quite well. And this just because I've never seen anything like it before. It's
40 years in China.
A Chinese comic book.
Oh well.
Hope it's not rude.
Can I have these please?
Sorry, I don't think they'll fit you.
Wonder Woman woolies.
Oh.
Yay.
You could like skate about the floor on them. I thought I'd be clever and I'd bring a bag. Unfortunately I filled the bag with books in the first shop. Oops. Don't tell Bex I bought this for me. Right, let's go and look at an old ruin. Cheer up, it might never happen, dog. No, it's going that way. Bye! Inexplicably, I asked Bex if she wanted to come and see another quite cool thing there is to see in Elgin, and she said no, she'd rather sit in the van. So her and De Niro are back in the van. I'm going to go and show you the outside of Elgin Cathedral. I know you were all expecting to see a lighthouse, but we drove to the lighthouse and there's a height barrier. We can't get in. It's a 2-metre height barrier because nobody ever visits Scotland in a camper van. We've just been to Lossiemouth, so there are no prizes for guessing the name of that river. Promise you, a couple of tourists, they are there too. You get a lot of wee mysteries when you're looking around these places, and this one has confused me. Here lies John Shanks, a shoemaker in Elgin who died in 1841, blah blah blah. But why is it all white apart from the word proprietary at the bottom? No idea. Oh, and I just noticed next to that it's a really old stone set into the wall, but I can't read that from here. So let's keep walking around the outside. We were going to do a wee jaunt along the Moray Firth coast, but it's too windy for the drone, and we've got to be down a place called Creef tomorrow to volunteer at Junior Park Run. So today we're just going to head south. So you're going to see things on the road between here and Creef. Hopefully interesting things, but I make no promises. No idea what that big domey thing over there is. That's quite impressive. It's got a statue in front of it. That's a very photogenic view down that way if you want to visit. It's £11. We're seeing quite enough from outside, thank you very much. Right, who knows what a presenter is, because this was the presenter's house. The presenter was actually the man that arranged the music for the cathedral, and if you're wondering how I know that, I am reading it on that side. There's a wee house for sale. I'm going to go and find out how much that is for sale for, and I'll let you know. If you'd like a little bit of Scottish history, that is the grave of a guy called Patrick Seller, who was the factor to the Countess of Sutherland, and he was a really, really big name in the Highland clearances. Not a big name in a good way. He was not a very pleasant man and not very pleasant to his tenants. Such a cool cathedral. If we had more time, actually, I would be going in to have a wee look round, but we don't. We're heading south and we'll no doubt find something else interesting to look for on our way. I wonder if Bex knows what a presenter is. I'll bet she doesn't. But then I didn't know until 5 minutes ago, and you didn't know until you saw this video, so don't pretend you did. I know I like a good pun, but anybody who uses place for a fish and chip shop should be publicly flogged. Because we are not in any great rush, we're going from where we are up here to where we need to be down there by the long and windy road. We're going to go and visit a nice wee town next, and absolutely not stopping for anything else. Well, possibly not stopping for anything else. Oh, did that sign back there say Abbey? I think this is an Abbey that is still an Abbey, and inexplicably Bex is not wanting to see this one either. She's over there in the van reading her book, no doubt, so it's just me and you guys. Is that okay? Not sure what to expect here, but the way things are going today, probably not much. You think of Abbeys as being ancient things. This one only became an Abbey in 1974. Fascinating fact for you that I of course read on that sign behind me. If you go down to the woods today, we'll hopefully find an interesting Abbey. After De Niro's Zoomy-related exertions of late, he didn't even want to come with me for a walk. So it's just me then, you're stuck with me. Well, that's quite interesting for a given value of interesting. There's a wall there with a bit facing this way, and a wall, oh, it's got a little statue on it, a wall there facing that way. That must have been part of a... Oh no, that's actually been built there. I thought it had been chopped open for the road, but that is been built for the road, as opposed to just had a slot to cut. Shut up, Ian, you're gibbering. If I sound a wee bitty out of breath, it's because I did parkrun this morning, as you saw very briefly earlier, and I did it faster than I've gone for months and months and months, and I'm suffering for it now. My lungs are going, what the heck are you playing at? So that's what it used to look like in the 1880s. And that's what it looks like today. Well, actually, really, that's what it looks like today. I wonder how much of the audio for this is working, because it's blowing an absolute hoolie. As I said before, if you watch this channel, this is now like a repeat, but I love the fact that you look at these old buildings and you can see where bits have been added. Like there's a little bit there that's obviously quite old. Apparently the oldest bit is this bit here. That's 13th century. If you look where that window is, that window has all been bricked in. Once upon a time there was a big arch there, so it must have maybe come out this way. Pretty cool. Let's go and see what else we can see. So that is the oldest bit. That's the bit that goes back to the 13th century. It's such a jumble of different buildings. I love it. They're quite keen for you to go inside. It says there's services on all the time, 4:30, 6:15, 9 o'clock, etc. But you can go in without disturbing the services, even if they're happening. So let's go and do that. Assuming we can find the way in, which I'm guessing is around here, because the doors on the other side are all locked. But there's the shop, and there's the toilets, and oh right, I'm going to shut up now, and I might show you some of the inside of this, or I might get thrown out by the monks. Okay, wow. This is really, really cool. Medieval wall paintings, please look up. Yeah, what an amazing place. I love these old buildings, and this is, yeah, this was absolutely worth the detour, even if Bex is not convinced that it was. You probably can't see these, but if you look just, I'll put my finger in the right place there, you can see like a building. Those are medieval wall paintings that survived when this place was in the ruins. That's quite an amazing piece of, yeah. You can't really see much of it now, but it gives you an idea that this whole place would have been painted and very pretty, not just bare stone like you're looking at. Another idea of what it looked like when it was a complete complex. It's such a cool place. Oh, grave slabs. It's still not a graveyard, so don't think you're not getting one later. 1722. Anything further up? These are so. It's just. These places just amaze me that they're still here and they're all just open, and you can interrupt myself there to ring you 1625. That one there is 1690, and that one here lies the body of, and it's behind a pile of chairs. I'm not moving the chairs. Loving the text. Here lies James Allen, sometime dweller, DW, you see the L's there? Dweller in East Hill of, I'm guessing it's wherever we are just now. Oh look,
a big skull and crossbones, and a hourglass, and a bell for whom the bell tolls. And that looks like a casket, a coffin, a sarcophagus. Public chapel. There's nobody about. Let's go and have a wee look. Modern stained glass, obviously, because the place was absolutely in ruins, and yeah, this was all open to the elements, and yeah, rack and ruin, as they say. Really nice stained glass, and interestingly, apart from the fact it is in memory of Donald and Mildred the Granton family, on a tiny wee bit in the corner, plus Garden Glass Studio, 1985. It's nice you can just come in and wander about, but look, that flight of stairs up there says private, and if you go all the way up there, there's a balcony that must go behind that wall there. And there's a flight of stairs all the way up there somewhere. I want to be up there. That looks cool. There's a wee a confessional here, and just in case you get it wrong, that's the priest side. Whatever your thoughts on the history of Christianity in the UK in particular, and the Reformation and all that gubbins, it's good that buildings like this survive. And this building survives because the Benedictine congregation are using it. So yeah, without them it would still be a ruin, probably less of a ruin than it was in those pictures from the 1800s. Oh, I thought there might have been a graveyard here somewhere as well. All those cool grave slabs out there. That's looks quite modern, but let's go for a wee look. Actually, let's not. I'll save your graveyard for later. So that's not bad, eh? Quite interesting. Not a lighthouse, but all right. Actually, we're going to do the lighthouse when we come up to do Nairn Park Run. We're going to go and do the lighthouse. We'll probably just drive up in the morning and then not need the van, and then not be scunnered by their height barrier they've got to get into the lighthouse visitor centre place. Not be what? That'll be time for the return of word of the day. Not done one of them for a while because I could never remember what I'd done and what I hadn't, and I didn't want to start repeating myself. Now we've been doing this channel for over 2 years. I don't care if I repeat myself because nobody remembers what we did 2 years ago anyway. I can hardly remember what I did yesterday. Just noticed that's St Benedict's where we've just been. St Scholastica's, no idea. Let's we're heading back towards the van anyway. Let's see what St Scholastica's, that word. I'll put my proper teeth back in. St Scholastica, I still can't do it. St Scholastica, there we go. Got there eventually. Is that St Scholastica's? No idea. Some sort of accommodation block, judging by what I can see through the windows, but I don't want to neb through the windows too much. The rain's now coming down in great big north of Scotland globules, so it's time to get back to the van and continue our journey south. The van's still not got a name that is clicked, so I think forevermore it's probably going to be called The Van. I think of all the features of monastic life, that's the one that would get... I don't mind the silence and I don't mind the not having anything, but it's the... we could have meat Sundays and holy days, and somebody talks the whole time you're eating your dinner. Right, that was that. Back in the van, off we go. Well, that was quite a nice Abbey, and now it's time to zip along the single track roads with passing places which have to be used properly or it alters into a bit of a disaster, to our next stop, which is yet another unplanned stop, but I saw a sign. What are you guys looking at? Sorry, girls. Pulled into this parking space, a bit of an emergency stop, and it's not just for this rather cool war memorial where you can see all the names of where people came from. There's the McBains from Lower Ardagh and another McBain from Berrily, and over there's Roderick McRae, Second World War, from the Kennels. But I did the emergency stop because I saw a sign on this gate up here, and you think you can guess what that sign says? And if you think that's the one that made me stop, you're wrong, because look, who wants to buy a church? That's my next house sitting right there, although I bet it's probably a little bit expensive. Actually, I suppose if you bought that church and lived in it, you'd still have to let people into the graveyard. That would be... it's not much of a garden, is it, really? It's, in the atmosphere, it's all a bit dead. Boom, boom. But while we're here, let's go and... alright, it is Private Munro of the Cameronians, the Scottish Rifles from 1916, aged 41. Yeah, a good age for somebody to die in the First World War. There's no such thing as a good age to die. You know what I mean? He was quite old for a casualty in the First World War. Some really nice stones here. As I say, we are cracking south, so we're not going to spend too long wandering about. But I suppose, yeah, we'll let you off with this one. This is this week's graveyard. There is the Urquharts, who are obviously the local big cheesies. John Urquhart, sometime of Outlawwell, who died at War Park Forest, which is not far from here, in 1838. So yeah, these are all 1820s, 1830s, 1880s, etc. Not seeing any really old looking stuff here. What's this one over here? It's quite monumental. It is blah 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 1898. There are some slightly older stones. I think that one is 1808. You can just about read at the top. But I stopped over here for this. This is the old an old mort house or an old watchman's office or something. Got a fireplace to keep warm.
Another local big cheese would have been William Grant of Thornhill, who died 1866, age 70, and his spouse who died 1870, and then there's a son 1864, and somebody who died at Mogador, Lewis Albert, who died at Mogador on the Morocco coast in 1874. A lot of these people with their far-flung adventures would have had some great stories to tell. It's a pity the stories are all lost. I wonder how much that is selling for. I'll have to find out and let you know. It's if you want to have a look for yourself, it's COFS Properties Limited, Church of Scotland, obviously, properties.org.uk. You're not lowering yourself to leave the van, De Niro. No, he's been out for a walk and he's now... He's had too many zoomies, he can't be bothered.
And the next stop on our non-stop journey was the town of Granton on Spey. Now this is largely overlooked by visitors to Scotland. They go up past Abbey and on to Inverness. Take a wee detour because it's well worth a visit. It's a really, really pretty wee place.
Bex, would you get that one in?
Awesome, it was every 6-year-old should.
It'd be great for the channel, wouldn't it?
I think you probably already know those.
What sound does a nut make when it sneezes? Cashew!
There are lots of really cool things to see in Granton on Spey. This hart with a squirrel on one side and a night scene on the other is really smart. But what I was most interested in was a sign that said cafe and model shop. I've never seen a cafe, and let's go for a wee look.
My dad would absolutely do his nut in here.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
Yes, thank you. He doesn't collect this stuff, does he?
You've not seen his attic, have you? I could collect these specs because they're much smaller. Or those ones because they're not going to start collecting Thomas the Tank Engine because it's that one there's really cool, but he's £238.80, and that's Percy in it.
Yeah.
He's 250 quid. That's realistic, isn't it? As it gets a little doggy, it's also ignoring us. What a pretty little high street, lots of really historic buildings. There must have been a lot of money coming through here at one point. No idea what sort of industry that might have been, but certainly, yeah, the place reeks of money. Aberdeen is known as the Granite City, but there's a lot of granite being used in Granton as well. Oh look, what's that? I didn't even notice that, honest. Quite a nice war memorial. It's a granite column up there, and it's got a wreath at the top there, as you can see, and then it's got this chappie here in his kilt. Look at his face, he looks like... Oh, he looks traumatised, and that's probably, to be fair, intentional. Anyway, look at that. There's quite a high-ranking chap from Inverallen in the First World War, Captain the Earl of Seafield, and then lots of privates. So he must have been in the wrong place at the wrong time because they're all minions. But he's quite important, you would guess. Tell you what though, the more time I spend not in Methil, the less time I want to spend in Methil.
But time is marching on. We better get cracking on and down to Creef.
We're in Creef, and once again I've found us a really salubrious car park. But you can park here for 72 hours. We'll need it for about 12. We shut the curtains so nobody can see the dog, and yeah, he's figured out he can get his nose between the curtains. There you go, go and lie down. It is an ungodly hour on the Sunday morning, and we have driven all the way down to Creef as promised because we're going to go and volunteer at the junior park run. What we're trying to do is all the junior park runs in Scotland. There are 30 odd of them, and we're slowly getting through them. Often on the way home from our adventures we drive through Creef. We've always driven past this park and thought, that looks like a nice park, that'd be good for a park run, not knowing there was actually a junior park run here. Bex has gone off to do some marshalling. She's going to stand down beside the little bridge and clap the little darlings on. I'm up here to do barcode scanning so they get their official time and position at the end, although obviously it's not a race. The usual junior park run panic at 9:15 in the morning is we could do with the arrival of some children. There's not many about yet.
So camera away, we'll see you later.
So the dog has had a walk, and now we're going to go and look at the charity shop actually. There is one charity shop in Creef, and we'll show you the high street as well because it is quite pretty, as we found out last night. So a bit of research that involved reading a sign. McCrosty were a family around here, and this McCrosty Park was bequeathed to the town by Mr McCrosty. So there, now you know all the facts that I know, and you'll probably forget them just about as quickly. I was just going to comment on the free parking and then noticed the machine, and the machine says take a ticket. So it's free, but you have to put a ticket on, I suppose, to make sure you're not there for 3 hours. Oh, registration number, no idea. OVY. Seems a bit of a waste of paper, but hey ho. Car park is not very big, the van is quite big, so it'll be easy to find when we come back. Right, heading up onto Creef High Street, take 2. Well, there's the guy that did it, W. Mossman Sculptor, Glasgow, and by it I mean that is a fairly typical fountain. Victorian, I'm going to guess. Let's find it. Just walked all the way around it trying to find any sort of inscription erected by the inhabitants of the borough of Creef. A recognition, blah blah blah, from the Murrays of somewhere. Well, I have no idea. Anyway, definitely a fountain.
nowadays not very fountainy, but look, 1893, so yeah, Victorian. Bex is making friends with the local coos. Well, that coo is also a bench. We saw this last night when we were out and about actually, so this is probably a repeat depending how I edit this, but look, it's all tassely, and if you like the tassels on the cow, how about the tassels on the fence and on the railings and on the stairs? Somebody has been very tassels with the googly eyes there. Just so you think tassels can't get any more interesting. There were several mills down there, so that's maybe where this place got all its money from. There would have been weaving and milling and cloth and stuff, I would guess. There are some really nice buildings here, like that one over there and that one there, which is the Creef Instructor Museum, and Bex is walking right past the charity shop. Is it open yet? No idea. Do you want to play it with 2 harriers on it?
No.
Well, it does look like the person that has painted that has never actually seen anything more than pictures of harriers. Not very accurate. Didn't buy anything. Another charity shop with quite ambitious pricing. That is Bold Rob Roy McGregor, the Highland Rogue. We beat his grave in one of our previous episodes. And that's that for this wee tour of places in Scotland that you might not have seen before. I'm going home now to play with my Duplo. To check my Duplo so I can get it listed. This is the best bit about buying things like Duplo, is you get to sit and make sure that it's all there. I mean, play with it. I mean, make sure that it's all there. Look, it's our little horsey and a little trailer. I hope it's all here. So far, it's been quite good. There's a Spider-Man set and a digger set. This is not bad for 20 quid. I think, I think we'll make a profit on this one.